with that, it's, I think, time for us to open up for a Q&A. We have around 15 minutes. So let's see if we have live questions in the feed, and I'll try to distribute that to Dinesh and Cindy as much as I can. Let's start with you, maybe, Dinesh. It's a question for Macadamian. Was SalesChoice a tool easy to apply and get up and running? And how important is your leadership in enabling the process to work effectively? Dinesh, you want to take that one?
Sure. So SalesChoice were excellent at helping us do that. So we had never done predictive analytics before, so I would divide the process into kind of 3 steps. Step 1 is an education process on the value of predictive analytics, and many businesses ask. And so using your own data so that you can share the potential insights that lie within your own data. They helped us do that and build the business case. And then through deployment, we then did a pilot and then a full deployment over a 90-day period. So we were able to validate with our own internal teams and other departmental stakeholders how we were going to use the application and what were the real impacts. And we were able to see impacts really within the pilot period. So we saw immediate within 45 days, we saw an immediate return to the business because we were able to bring those objective data points to the subjective conversations we were having with our technical people. So that was kind of the process end to end around 3 months, just over 3 months. Yes, leadership is important. No change management will happen without strong, committed leadership. And this is no different. So you have to believe as the leader of your sales organization that this is going to make a material difference to your business. If you do, the tools are there to support you.
Great. Thanks, Dinesh. That was a great question and a great answer. Let's have a question for you, Cindy. Kind of a more high-level question around the challenges that you see in companies embracing predictive analytics.
Well, I think number one, there's no question there's an educational component that's required. A lot of people don't understand the difference between business intelligence versus predictive versus prescriptive, sentiment mining, etc. The value of data science and the validity that it can bring. So we have written a lot of material. It's on our website. We're constantly doing webinars, but we have learned that is a requirement very early in the cycle. I think the other one is you have to have a change champion. We can all think back when there's been a new innovation growth curve, and this trajectory of machine learning and predictive is a very big one because it will infiltrate all process constructs, not just sales. It's effectively machine learning and everything. And, so there is a need to understand that and also find early adopters. The third point is one that we've been facing forever in sales, and that is ensuring that there are processes that are followed and the data quality side, right? So, we are vetting very carefully and qualifying the kinds of companies we can work with because if their processes are non-existent, everybody's sandbagging, there's a zillion workarounds, they're not the best clients for us to target, and they're not ready for predictive. So, if I underscored everything around this, I think it's an innovation dynamic. And it's also not to say that predictive hasn't been here 10, 15 years ago with AI. It's just that it's now so integrated into the actual use cases of what the users are doing, and you don't have to have this monolithic data model, rule-based engine. That's kind of old world thinking, and so it is disruptive as well. But those would be the 3 factors, the educational need, the recognition of that leadership and early adopter behaviors, and the third, obviously, is ensuring that the quality and the behaviors are there. If you don't have that combination, you can't bring much value. And maybe the most important thing that we've been learning and I think we're learning every day, quite frankly, is that predictive analytics can be brought to the masses. It can be brought to small businesses. Honestly, with 5 sales professionals and a manager, you can absolutely increase your top-line revenue by 20 to 30%. So what I'm honestly the most excited about is bringing predictive at cost structures to the masses and to start driving more global growth. And, with the larger enterprises, if they've got 30 instances of Salesforce running, we're better off to find, the right champion that's ready for that, or ones that maybe have completely streamlined into one unified workflow across those lines of business, where, we can bring, they're just a little bit more ready for that kind of sustainability agenda. So thanks, Julien.
Yeah, thanks, Cindy. It's a great answer. Let's see. There's a lot of questions in the feed, so keep asking them, and we'll try to get to as many as we can. There's one, I guess, for Salesforce. All the CRM actions that you showed limited to standard Salesforce actions. It's a really good question. So I'm guessing that gentleman is an existing Salesforce user. Let me make it clear for everybody. So the standard Salesforce actions are the ones that we showed, right? So typically create a new task, log a call, and all of that stuff that comes with Chatter, actually. And the answer is no, it's not limited to the standard actions. Of course, the standard actions would work out of the box, but if you want to customize custom actions, you can also do that in your org. It's actually very easy to do. And we have a ton of examples of customers kind of having their own custom CRM action. So thanks for asking that. All right, maybe another question to you, Dinesh, which is how rapid do you think companies will start to use predictive analytics on top of Salesforce, and how soon will this be pervasive?
Well, this is like any technology. The ones who adopt it and do so, taking into account some of the things Cindy said, will be leading in their areas, right? Because it'll be a competitive advantage. So I know in my business, we have many competitors of all different kinds, and we have the ability to choose our opportunities and put the full thrust of our organization behind those. That will mean we will win our unfair share, and we will grow faster than our competitors will. So to make it, I guess blunt, very, very blunt, those that don't take advantage of the tools that are in front of them are doomed to be crushed by those that do.
Thank you, Dinesh. Let's see, there's a few questions on the predictive side, and there's also a few questions on the wave side. So let's talk about this one. So for you, Cindy, how would predictive take external events like plunging oil prices or changing currency rate into account? Is there a variable for this?
Yes, essentially, because we're so integrated with Salesforce, if you've got your specific pricing that you're putting into Salesforce, and that's one of the field attributes, we would be able to pick up those dynamics. If there was also a risk factor where we had to connect, like a data connector to external currency markets, that would be an integration overlay, but that's all totally doable. Some things are, one thing that's very different about us, a lot of the predictive players take only a specific number of field attributes to drive their predictions. We do everything. And so every company gets a unique data model, and we're quite differentiated in that piece. But in answer to whoever's question that was, that's just simply another requirement that has to be factored in into the the market dynamics. I have a vision in my mind, and it's been there since day one, that we're going to create the sales GPS stock market with all interaction signals, and I totally believe that's where we're heading, and it's an exciting time.
Great. It is indeed an exciting time. Thanks, Cindy, for taking that one. There's one question on the Wave for Wave. The question is, are there additional fees for Wave? So Pricing questions. Salesforce is a public company, so we put our pricing up on the website. It's all public. We have a very simple pricing structure. It's always per user per month. If you want to use the Sales Wave app that I showed you, it's $75 a user a month. And if you want to extend that to bring more data in and address more use cases and build your own custom apps, then it's the second SKU that we have, which is the Wave platform, and that would be the double of the price of the app. So normally companies start kind of adopting the app, they play with it, they do a quick proof of concept, they fall in love with it, they love it, and then they might expand their use case and buy the platform SKU. I think we have time for maybe one more question, and then we'll just wrap up. So that one will be for you, Cindy, again. Do these products run in the background and connect with current financial and sales management software, or is anything done inside Salesforce?
We have an open API, and so if those predictions that are in Salesforce need to be moved over into, if it's a native Salesforce product or if it's an SAP, that's simply a data feed that we would identify in the requirements definition, that there has to be a feed of that prediction into another data store. So, we're, like I said, it's an open API. We're technology data savvy, and I'm not too worried about those kinds of realities at all in terms of integration deployment. And again, as I mentioned, we've partnered with Accenture, the #1 systems integration Salesforce partner in the world for large enterprise. We're trying to build a technology software company, not a PS company, and also Relation Edge that covers all of the small to mid-market in North America, and 2 trusted tribe partners that we're, going very, out to market with right now.
Great. Thanks. So before we wrap up, you want to learn more about Salesforce Wave or SalesChoice, you can do that today. These are 2 bit.ly that gives you, one is the Sales Wave Analytics Comprehensive Guide, and the other one is an ebook by SalesChoice. And of course, there's a lot of unanswered questions. We'll try to get back to you as soon as possible and make sure we answer them all. But really want to thank you, Dinesh, for being here today. Thank you, Cindy, for being a great partner and a great speaker. And thank the rest of the audience for taking the time today. We hope that was interesting and exciting. And we're all looking forward to staying in touch with you all. So thanks again, and have a great day.